Hey friends, good morning. Joe Owens here with Joe Owens Outdoors. Thank you for checking us out and tuning into the channel this morning. Well, man, here we go again. 22nd of February, and they're calling for another massive snowstorm here in the Northeast. I don't know about you, but with every passing year, the more I despise winter, the more I don't like the cold, the more it bothers my body, the more I'm ready to be done with winter altogether. Hey, before I get into today's video, I got a great little video that I want to do today, and I want to show you a worm that is near and dear to my heart in a couple of different presentations to fish it. That will help you to catch more fat bass. But before I get into that, I got a question for you guys, and I'd like some feedback on this in the comment section on the videos that we do. Right now, in January of 2028, so less than 2 years, I'm going to be retiring from a career in running heavy equipment and in an energy background. And when that time comes, my wonderful wife, Sally, and I, we're going to be retiring to Florida. And we've been talking, and she's very supportive in this idea. And I wanted to run it past you guys and kind of get your input and get some feedback from you, see what you think. When we retire, the idea is I'm going to get me another boat. A lot of you probably know, but for over 20 years, I fished local, regional, and national bass tournaments throughout the United States. And for 14 years, I owned a bass fishing guide service there in Arizona, where I guided on the Salt River, Chin Lakes, Roosevelt, Apache Canyon, and Saguaro, which are fantastic bass fisheries. If you've never had a chance to fish them, you need to. But when we retire to Florida, I'm going to pick up another boat, and I think I'm going to do a little part-time guiding. Just something a couple of days a week. Obviously the extra income always helps for anybody that's on a retirement income when that time comes. But in addition to that, it would give me an opportunity to share what I consider to be just a lifetime of knowledge and experience on the water. And I wanted to know how many of you guys would legitimately come down to Florida in the winter and say, hey, take us fishing, man. Go out on a guide trip down there, and what you think of that idea. I'm going to be guiding on the St. Johns River down there, specifically from Jacksonville down south of Lake George, which is on the St. Johns River there, down towards St. Augustine in that area down there. But anyway, throw your feedback in your comments there. Let me know what you think about that. Today's video, let me get right into this. There's a worm that's, man, it's older than I am. Some people call him a cut tail worm. Some people even call him a side paddle tail worm. I grew up and started fishing these worms in about probably 1983. And the worm I'm talking about is what I commonly refer to as a speed worm. Now, if you go to our online store at joeowenscustombaits.com, you could see of the many products that we carry there. We also have a good selection of real high quality cut tail worms there. If it's something that you're in the market for, check those out. You'd be glad you did. But I want to show you two different presentations with this worm. This is a worm that, in my opinion, might be the most versatile plastic worm ever created. And I realize that's saying a lot. The 7-inch Berkeley Power Worm. Who knows how many millions of bass that's caught. Some of the 10-inch original paddle tail worms that were made decades ago. The same thing with them. Those things have caught boatloads of big bass. But for my money, day in and day out, when it comes to the versatility of a worm that you can fish weightless on top, that you can fish with a pegged weight in and around vegetation, pitching it under docks, swimming it alongside docks, shallow wood, shallow rock, in and around vegetation, or also you can Texas rig it and catch a lot of different fish. But I'm going to show you today two of my favorite presentations for fishing what I call a speed or a cut tail worm. And the ones that I'm talking about here, let me just show you. I got two of them rigged up here. First off, when I'm fishing these, I'm going to show you the unweighted version first off. Okay, now this here, I actually have this rigged right now on 16-pound Gamma fluorocarbon. But normally when I rig it weightless like this is a 7-inch cut tail worm that we sell here. As you can tell, it's beefy here. It's got the little channel here for the hook. It's got the channel there where it comes out the other side. Just a dynamite worm. Now, the whole key to these, there's a few keys to them. First off, if you're going to fish these weightless, in my opinion, this is really important. You see that the hook point is coming out on this side? You see how the tail cuts toward the opposite direction of the hook point coming out of the worm? When you fish these worms weightless, that's really important, because what happens if you turn that worm around where the tail is, the cut in the tail is like this, facing the same direction as the hook point? As you go to pull that in, it'll create more disturbance on the water, but it'll also create a water line twist. If you have it facing opposite of the hook point, it'll still give you the action that you want, but it's not going to twist your line. Also, notice here, you can see the hook point sticking out. This is a 4/0 offset Gamakatsu hook, which is, in my opinion, on a 7-inch speedworm. This is the hook of choice that you want to use when you're fishing it weightless. And the reason I use the offset here, you see how you got the line tie here? You don't want to use another hook and then push the worm up over the eye. You don't want to do that, because what happens when you set the hook, you're going to split the plastic out here on the back. So this is a dynamite bait. Yeah, a lot of people in Florida fish this type of worm. You know, they'll cast it out and they'll throw it over vegetation, and they just slowly pull it back. And that's a great way to catch numbers of fish and big fish. But I'll tell you something else about fishing those weightless. They are dynamite for pitching in and around docks. On one of the lakes that I used to guide on, Canyon Lake in Arizona, where they had some boat docks there on the lower main lake that were setting over 15 to 25 feet of water. And I would take these weightless cut-tail worms and I'd pitch them in between the boat slips and in between the boats that are there, and just pull them back real slowly, twitching them like you would a soft jerk bait. Hammered some really big bass doing that. So keep that in mind. It's not just a presentation that works in and around shallow vegetation, and which is what it was designed for. But you can also skip it in and around docks, different types of shallow cover. Dynamite presentation. Now the other presentation, and you know, some guys will ask, when you're fishing that style of worm, does it make any difference whether you fish it on monofilament or braid? Well, the short answer is yeah, in my opinion, it does. If you're in South Florida and you're fishing cut-tail worms, say on Okeechobee or, you know, some of the lakes down there that have just a ton of vegetation, thick, heavy vegetation, and there's a lot of big bass in there too, I would throw it on straight braid. I've actually caught a lot of fish on clear water impoundments, swimming these worms on straight braid, 30-pound braid, never had any problems, no fish being shy, none of that business. This is a reaction bait, and that's the way that you want to try to fish it. Put it at angles and presentations where you're creating a reaction out of the fish. Put it in areas where they get a look at it, but they only get a quick look at it. Now, if I'm going to fish this Texas rig, or say I'm pulling it through vegetation that has some big potholes in it where maybe fish are spawning, or where they're sitting under there just feeding in the openings, we're going to let the bait fall vertical, then you want to weight it up a little bit. And the way that you do that, notice two distinct differences in this bait here. Same exact worm, but you notice here, there's a bobber stop here. Then this is a 1/8 ounce mustad tungsten weight. Then this is a 4/0 Gamakatsu extra wide gap hook. You might say, okay, why are you going with the extra wide gap instead of the offset? Two reasons. One, here with this worm being rigged like this with this weight here, and notice this is the key though, right here. Notice how the tail's going the same direction as the hook point. The reason being is because you're going to be dropping this and fishing it in a Texas rig manner. And if you use that offset hook, when you're doing this with the weight, it will actually twist it. But with the extra wide gap hook, it will not twist it. But you got to make sure when you're fishing these with the weight that the tail is going the same direction as the hook point. That's absolutely crucial. A lot of times guys will fish these and they're like, man, well, I was catching some fish, but the line was twisting up so bad I couldn't fish it. Well, it's because you got the tail going the wrong way. Very, very simple, very easy fix. This is just a dynamite presentation though, but you can fish these Texas rig. One of the things that I like to do when I'm fishing in and around any type of vegetation, with this bait being set up like this, weighted, you want to make a long cast out there, cast out past some vegetation, and then you just want to give it a slow roll like you would a spinner bait or a crank bait early in the spring. Just pull it 4, 5, 6 feet, then drop your rod tip and let that bait fall vertically till it hits bottom, then just pop, pick it up, drop it, and then start that retrieve again. You will catch a ton of fish doing that, a lot of big fish. So let me give you a quick rundown here, just kind of show you the stuff that goes in conjunction with those worms. Again, for the weightless version, 4/0 Gamakatsu offset hook. That's a hook that you want to use. For the weighted version, you got the 4/0 Gamakatsu extra wide gap hook. That's a hook that you want to use for that. Me personally, this is just a brand of bobber stops that I like to use. They're good quality. They're made in the USA. They're just good, consistent results out of them. And then for me, a lot of different tungsten weights out there. I don't use tungsten on most of my stuff, to be honest with you. I'm a person that unless I see a considerable or noticeable difference, I don't really change too much. But with this presentation, I would absolutely throw tungsten in. The reason being is because you want the smallest weight on the head of that worm as possible, because you're fishing it in and around vegetation. You don't want to drag on the bait. You don't want it collecting the moss and, the pepper grass, the eelgrass, anything like that. But here's the type of tungsten weights that I use. These are the Mustad tungsten, just a real good quality weight right there. So there you have it. There's 2 different presentations with a cut-tail worm that if you will implement them into your tackle and into your arsenal when you're out there on the water, I guarantee you they will help you to catch more fat bass. Please feel free to check out our online store at joelowenscustombaits.com. We have over 250 products there, from custom spinner baits, flipping and pitching jigs, bladed swim jigs, regular swim jigs. We also make some of the finest hair jigs on the market today. And you know what? When you go to our online store there at joelowenscustombaits.com, you'll notice also that we have some outstanding jig heads that we sell in a 2-pack that a lot of guys buy from us for using for their swim baits, and we've had rave reviews on those. So check those out also. And as you probably already know, we offer free nationwide shipping on all orders. God bless you and your families. Now get back to me. Give me some feedback and let me know if when we retire and go down there to Jacksonville, if you're going to fly into town, we'll go out on a guide trip. Thank you for watching the video. We appreciate it. And I hope you and your family have a wonderful weekend. Thanks.